Hi, I'm Mark,
Hi, I'm Alison.
and we're from Middlesbrough.
The borough?
Sorry, the borough. The borough. Not just Middlesbrough, the borough. We're going to travel around France in our motorhome called Dora. We set off from home last weekend, and we did a pub stop over for one night just to break up the journey because it's quite a long way down to Folkestone.
Which was very nice.
It was a lovely pub, lovely meal, really welcoming, big car park. So yeah, it was really nice. Have a couple of pints, sleep over, get up next morning, and away you go. After leaving the pub, we travelled down to Dover to spend a few hours looking around the White Cliffs, because we had a fair few hours spare before we had a lake crossing. After an early morning drive through some lovely French scenery, we kept to the B roads, passing through some lovely villages en route to our first campsite. We arrived at our lovely campsite. This is the only one we've booked so far. We're going to wing it for the rest of the holiday, so we don't know where we have a rough idea where we're going. We just don't know where we're staying yet.
We arrived at the campsite. We were booked for 2 days, but we immediately booked another night because we thought it was a really nice site.
Yeah.
It had a lovely indoor pool. All the areas where the vans were parked were all very well kept.
Whilst we were at the site, we had a lovely walk down into the port, Saint Valery and Co. I think that's how you say it. Maybe you don't. It's not exactly French. There's a lot of World War II history around the port, which was really interesting to see, and there was quite a few bars and shops.
So we had a few beers.
Yeah, so we had a few beers just to, get yourself into the mood of holidays. Only there wasn't that many bars and shops open, but I think it's very early in the season. Probably a lot more will be opening very soon. After leaving the campsite, we headed for our first France passion site, which is on a French farm. The stopover was nice and quiet and peaceful. The following morning, the farm shop opened, where we purchased some local fresh meats, and then it was back on the road again, and we were heading to Honfleur, our next stopover. So we parked up the van in Honfleur and then started to walk into the main town. Honfleur is a picturesque port which is situated on the Seine estuary. It is famed for its cobbled streets and timber slated buildings. Honfleur has a feel of which I would say is somewhere in between Stratford-upon-Avon, York and Whitby. It's also famed for having the largest wooden church in France. We'll be having lunch here, then we'll have a good walk around. There's quite a lot to see. There's lots of art and statues all around Honfleur, especially in the old town. As I said, Honfleur is a port town, and another reason for its fame is its seafood cuisine. I went for the whelks and prawns as a starter, as I hadn't had whelks since I was a very young child. They were absolutely gorgeous with a homemade mayonnaise. We both had mussels for our main course, and then Alison had a crepe with caramel sauce for dessert. The actual cost of the meal wasn't too bad actually. And then it was off again, going to our next France Passion site. So I was up early the next morning and we were back on the road again. This time we were heading towards Normandy, with the hope of getting towards Sword Beach before the celebrations were to start. The cafe bar, which is just at the beginning of the bridge, and I'm sure I've seen it on some World War II movies. It's full of World War II memorabilia. Really is nice. Worth visiting, worth getting a coffee or a beer. If you do know what movies this has been in, please let me know. Send us a comment. Watching and listening to the pipers come across the bridge really set the tone for the remembrance celebrations. So this is the Pegasus Bridge. The original bridge of 1934 has now been preserved in a local museum. The modern replacement, 1994, is a replica but slightly wider for more modern traffic, but still operates in exactly the same way to allow the canal traffic underneath to pass through. On the night of the 5th and 6th of June, British airborne troops landed close to the bridge by using gliders. They took command within 10 minutes, causing huge disruption to the Germans, preventing them from supplying armour to the front line. We took this poignant moment to walk across the bridge and to think of what these brave men did. It's nice calm weather today, but on the day of the landing it was very stormy. You can only imagine what it was like to try and jumping into this freezing cold water in full kit with somebody shooting at you. It must have been awful for those soldiers. So this is Juno Beach. All the way along there. And then down there is Sword Beach, where the British landed. Seems so quiet and peaceful. Hard to think what happened over 82 years ago.
On the left, everybody.
We took the opportunity to take a guided tour around some of the bunkers that are still there on Juno Beach. And as you walk through the bunkers, which are heavily fortified by several feet of concrete, you see how difficult it must have been for the soldiers. A couple of facts that the tour guide told us, that there was over 16,000 bunkers from the tip of Spain all the way to Norway. This particular bunker had interconnecting tunnels, but since the war they have since caved in. The light coming through the walls, these would have been heavily fortified steel doors, which have now gone, so it would have been very dark walking around here, as most of the electricity had been cut.
There it is.
Oh, yeah. We took the opportunity to go into the Juno Centre, which was really interesting. And then once we left, we actually were blessed with a display of American aircraft that did a low-level flyby. I'm not quite sure what these American aircraft are, but if you do know, drop me a line, let me know what they are. We had a good walk around the Juno area and we've seen some more military memorabilia. Then it was time to leave because we had to go to La Rochelle. So thanks for watching and we'll catch you on the next one where we pick you up at La Rochelle. See you soon.